The quiet neighbor. The film begins with Emily Carter, a 28-year-old graphic designer, moving into a quiet suburban street after a painful breakup. She notices her next-door neighbor, Steve Wallace, a reserved man in his early 40s. Steve greets her politely, offering a small smile, but his voice is oddly flat, like someone rehearsing normal human interaction. Emily shrugs it off, seeing him as just another quiet neighbor. First encounter. One rainy evening, Emily's car battery dies. Steve appears almost instantly, offering to help. He fixes her car effortlessly, surprising her with his mechanical skill. She thanks him warmly, but when he smiles back, it lingers too long. His eyes fixed on her in a way that feels intrusive, like he's memorizing her face. Whispers around town. At the local coffee shop, Emily chats with locals and casually mentions her neighbor Steve. Their reactions are mixed. An elderly woman calls him harmless, but another patron mutters, "He keeps to himself." Always has. Nobody seems to know his story, but everyone seems wary, as though they don't want to discuss him. The locked room. Emily borrows a garden tool from Steve. As she's about to leave, she notices a door down his hallway. It's locked old and rusted, unlike the rest of the pristine house. When she casually asks about it, Steve's tone shifts from friendly to sharp. That room's off limits. He quickly escorts her out. The warmth from earlier evaporates, replaced by an edge of menace. The strange phone calls. Emily begins receiving calls late at night. The caller never speaks, but she hears faint breathing on the other end. She dismisses it at first. Wrong numbers, maybe. But one night, after hanging up, she looks out her window and sees Steve standing on his porch, staring in her direction. The friend's warning. Emily confides in her friend Mark Rivera, a journalist. Mark offers to check Steve's background. He returns shocked. There's no trace of Steve online before 10 years ago. No school records, no job history, nothing. It's like he didn't exist before then, Mark says. Emily laughs nervously, but unease creeps in. The invitation. Steve invites Emily for dinner, presenting it as a neighborly gesture. His home is meticulously neat, almost staged. He tells stories about his past, but Emily notices contradictions. One moment, he says he grew up in Ohio, the next in Michigan. His charm feels hollow, his words carefully chosen, like a man rehearsing a script. The break-in. Emily wakes at 3 a.m. to find her front door ajar. Terrified, she checks her house. Nothing is missing. But near the back door, she sees muddy footprints. Later, she notices Steve's boots, caked in mud, identical to the tracks in her hallway. The realization makes her stomach drop. The hidden box. Suspicion gnaws at Emily. When Steve leaves for a supposed trip, she sneaks into his shed. Inside, she finds a locked metal box. She forces it open and discovers stacks of photographs, women she doesn't recognize. The photos range from candid street shots to intimate images taken through windows. Some are decades old, but others look recent. The discovery. Her blood runs cold as she flips through the photos until she finds one of herself. Taken only days ago, through her bedroom window. Steve hasn't just been watching her, he's been documenting her. The police report. Emily rushes to the police. The officer listens but grows skeptical. Steve has no criminal record. The photos, the officer suggests, could be harmless or even misunderstood. Frustrated, Emily realizes she has no proof Steve is dangerous. That night, Steve visits her, casually mentioning, "The police called me today." Strange, isn't it? His smile is polite, but his words are a threat. Steve's past revealed. Mark continues digging and uncovers that Steve once lived in Montana under the name Stephen Miles. Records show several women went missing during that period, cases still unsolved. Mark warns Emily, "I think your neighbor's more dangerous than anyone realizes." The cat and mouse. From then on, Emily feels Steve's presence everywhere. At the grocery store, she turns an aisle to find him standing there. At the gym, he's suddenly working out near her. At work, she spots him watching from across the street. His gaze never wavers, and his calm smile never fades. It feels deliberate, like a predator tightening its grip. The breaking point. Unable to bear it, Emily storms over and confronts Steve. He listens silently before saying, in a trembling but controlled voice, "You remind me of her. Someone I lost. Someone the world took away from me." His eyes well with tears, but there's no sanity in them, only obsession. Mark's disappearance. Mark arranges to confront Steve himself. Hours later, Emily can't reach him. His phone is dead, and his car is abandoned near Steve's house. Emily realizes the danger is escalating. Steve isn't just watching anymore. Into the locked room. Terrified, Emily breaks into Steve's house while he's away. She forces open the locked room. Inside, she finds chilling evidence: purses, jewelry, clothing from multiple women. The walls are covered with notes, scribbles about protecting them, and photographs pinned like trophies. In the corner sits an old camcorder with labeled tapes. The confrontation. Steve returns unexpectedly and finds her inside. He doesn't attack. He simply closes the door and calmly says, "Now you know." He insists he's not a killer, but a protector, claiming he rescued these women from abusive lives. His delusion is chilling as he speaks with total conviction. The escape. Emily lashes out, knocking over furniture and striking Steve with a lamp. She runs, Steve chasing her through the dark streets. The chase is chaotic, desperate. She stumbles, he closes in, whispering, "Don't run from me, Emily. I can keep you safe." Just as he grabs her, sirens pierce the night. The fall of Steve. Police flood the street. Steve is restrained, still eerily calm, telling Emily, "They'll never understand, but you will." As he's taken away, he locks eyes with her one last time and whispers, "This isn't the end." His voice lingers like a curse. Weeks later, Emily tries to rebuild her life. She attends therapy, but nightmares haunt her. One morning, she finds an envelope at her doorstep. Inside is a single sheet of paper with her name written neatly in Steve's handwriting. The camera lingers on Emily's horrified face before cutting to black.